You have booked a trip to Singapore, are planning it out, or simply adding it to your travel bucket list? Here are the 5 things you should know before you go. Number 1. Singapore's laws and regulations, which ultimately contribute to it being such a safe and clean place. However, it is probably a good idea for you to familiarize yourself with those ahead of your trip, so that you know which ones could apply to you. For example, did you know that chewing gum is not allowed in Singapore? That is both to enter with it as well as it being sold. So maybe check the pockets of your bag to see if there's a pack of your mouth fresheners. Number 2. Transportation. Singapore has a very modern and efficient public transport system, which includes buses and trains. Especially the MRT train system is a very great and safe way for you to commute through the city as a tourist and get right to the heart of all the main spots you want to see. And on a hot and humid day, you will really appreciate that the trains are air conditioned. It will be a very much welcomed cooling down break. Here you can pay with your Apple Pay directly. You don't need to buy a card or any kind of ticket. But as an alternative to that, you could also commute by using Grab, which works the same way as Uber. And if you haven't done so already, I would recommend you to download the app and register ahead of your trip to Singapore so that you're all ready to go when you're there. Number 3. Let's talk about the airport, which has won several awards over the years. It is absolutely amazing. It is huge and you will want to have that little bit of extra time to explore the airport by itself. So be sure to plan that in. And of course, the main site is the Jewel. Behind me is the sign, or one of the signs of Singapore, more specifically the airport, which is the Jewel. The biggest and largest indoor waterfall in the world, and it is surrounded by this beautiful naturey park in the middle of the airport. But did you know that there are some attractions in the airport that actually require you to buy a ticket? For example, visiting an indoor park or seeing the Jewel from different angles with less people. Is it a must? It's really up to you. For me, it was more the cherry on the top, since I wanted to explore everything that the airport has to offer and see what the airport is really about. However, the airport will amaze you by itself, and there are many public spaces from which you can see the Jewel. In fact, the most famous ones are the ones that are for free. So you don't have to buy any extra tickets for any extra attractions, but you can if you want to. Number 4. Food. Singapore is a foodie's paradise, and there is a reason for that, because so many different cultures come together in Singapore, and with that their flavor combinations as well. Whether you are visiting a hawker center or the many restaurants you will encounter on your way through a sightseeing tour, there are so many things to try and so many flavors to explore. So really, if there is a place on earth to open up your mind to new dishes, it must be in Singapore. Number 5. The weather. Singapore has different seasons, so be sure to check ahead of your trip so that you know how to pack. In general, the city is hot and humid though. But on the good side, there are many ways to find a shadow or cool down. The heat in Singapore is no joke, plus the humidity. You're gonna sweat and you're hot. This is my new best friend, a little ventilator. People use it here, so I thought I'd purchase one as well, and it helps a little bit. And another big plus is that your evenings will come to life on a different level, because this is when the sun goes down, it gets cooler and the city is really shining. These were the 5 things you should know before you go to Singapore. And do you already have plans for your trip there? Please be sure to check out my other videos in this series, which will tell you all about the best spots to visit in Singapore. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.